So it was the third round of the Silver Series at Carr's Lakes 1 and 2, with the first 2 rounds fishing really difficult due to hard frosts and poor conditions. The week had been mild, so the lads were hoping for a few more bites and some better weights in the net.
What's left, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow.
Early signs on Lake 1 were really good, with Kevin Hibbert in the corner, catching 6 roach in the first 10 minutes, fishing mag and wag tactics. Steve Fernard drew peg 21 again on Lake 2, a peg he drew in the first round, catching £30. Steve started long at 13 metres again, fishing into the grass, how he'd caught previously on this peg, and took about 25 fish in the first half an hour. If his catch rate would stay like this, Steve would be looking at £30 again.
Melodies we haven't played, no, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go.
Callum Parker on peg 12 on Lake 2, fishing mag and wag tactics also, with the wind off his back. Callum had 6 roach in the first half an hour. Another fish on now, so things were looking good for Callum also. Paul Trattles on peg 15 on Lake 2. Just started to catch on the pole after about half an hour, taking 3 skimmers. Jim Prescott next door to Callum, just swinging a roach in there on the waggler. MPW himself on peg 29 on Lake 1, just netting a big skimmer here on the cage feeder.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Anth Murray netting a skimmer here on Lake 2, about an hour in. Things were looking good for most of the lads on Lake 2, all getting a few bites and netting a few fish.
Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a
Bob Kramer seemed to be leading the way on Lake 1, catching a few skimmers and some small roach. Bob was fishing down the grass also to his right, whilst waiting for his skimmer line to progress. Kev Burke on the back of the island on Lake 1 also had a few roach early doors. It was good to see Kev getting a few bites because he'd only caught carp in the previous rounds. Halfway through the match, and Wayne Armstrong on Lake 2 was admitting to 6 or 7 pounds of decent roach, all caught on the waggler. Wayne had just dropped onto his pole line and was picking up some decent skimmers as well. Anthony on the peg next door had been catching a few small skimmers and some roach and was admitting to 5 or 6 pound. So Lake 2 was looking very tight at the halfway stage.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
Halfway through on Lake 1, Bob Kramer on peg 20, admitting to 5 or 6 pounds. Small skimmers and roach. So that's both Lakes 1 and 2, looking pretty similar, with the average weight about 5 or 6 pound. So about 2.5 hours to go, we're back with Steve Fern. He's got 152 fish, he's admitting to about 12 pounds. So Steve well on his way to winning Lake 2.
We haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun.
So back with Paul Trattles with about 2 hours to go. Paul's starting to catch a couple of decent skimmers on his pole lines. Paul's admitting to around about 10 pounds at this point. Probably looking at second on Lake 2 at the moment. Join Callum Parker on the peg next to Paul Trattles. Bit of a peg to peg battle going on here, with Callum Parker also admitting around about 10 pound. Callum just chose to go back on his waggler after catching a good run of skimmers on his pole lines. Catching some nice stamp roach on the waggler, hoping for another run of skimmers on his pole lines to try and push Paul at the wane. Michael Palmer Wright looking like he's a strong second place behind Bob Kramer at this stage, admitting to around about 8 pounder skimmers and roach. Going to be a battle between him and Bob to win the lake. So back with Bob Kramer. I reckon Bob's leading the lake at this stage, just netting another decent skimmer. Bob's admitting to about £15 with 45 minutes to go.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.
So back with Steve Fern, and Steve switched lines, gone onto his skimmer line to try and catch some better stamp fish. Steve's now looking at £30 mark, with about 20 minutes left of the match.
£2.9 for Gibb. £11.4 for John Milligan. What was that 9 what? 9.13 for Kevin. 11.5, well done Mike.
Thanks, buddy.
6.13 for Kev. No carp, Kev.
Just the one. £1.5.
Good lad. Thought you might have had one. Well done, Mr. Fern. £34.10.
Cheers. And the maggot.
Make yourself look beautiful. £19. Well done, Paul. Well done, Callum. 18.8. £11.4. On a quick shot. It's a nice roach. £11.4. Well done, mate.
8.
Good catch shot, Am. Couple of nice skimmers there, mate.
Aye, that's all got early doors and then they just friggin' died.
15.8 for Am. Well done, mate. More than that, there's 18 there.
Yeah.
Well done, Bob. Bob, just get a catch shot, mate, please. Jump on the edge here.
Turn around, Bob, we don't want your face in it.
Bob Kramer, £20. Well done, Bob. Lake 1 winner.
Peg 21 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 from 3.
3 from 3.
£34.
10 ounces.
Go on
255 fish.
then. Talk us through it.
Basically, I just did what I did last time on it. Fished 13 metres to me right, 2 foot depth in about 4 foot of water, and the fish are there straight away, roach and rudd mainly. The hide and the chub, they weren't there this week. With warm weather, they've gone elsewhere. And after about 4 hours, I've been feeding my skimmer line off to my left. Went on it 13 metres, and there was a few skimmers kicking around. Had about a dozen of them in 25-30 minutes, so thought the wind got a bit naughty again.
Minimal feed. Maximum bag again, yeah?
I've put a fair bit of feed into there. I've fed about, I say a fair bit, I've fed about half a pint of maggots, just over.
So a few more than last week.
A few more than last week, yeah. I've used about a kilo ground bit with skimmer line. If it wasn't so windy, I would have had a lot more skimmers, I think. Just caught over at expanders.
With £50 that peg on the right day?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, without a doubt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Round 4 next week.
Back to
Well
Lake
done,
1.
Steve.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Mike.
Thanks, bud. Right, Bob, round 3 done and dusted.
Yep.
2 section wins
Yep, and a
and
third.
and a third. Okay. Peg 20 today
Yep,
with £20.
13.
Talk us through it, if you would be so kind.
Well, I drew that peg the first match, if you remember.
Yes, yep,
And I had a pound off it.
yep.
Last week, when I drew, it being that cold and I'd been much getting caught, I fished a very negative match to win me lake. This week, I fished totally different. I put it was warmed up a bit. I knew what the peg was like, I knew what the bottom was like there. I fished about 2 inches over depth on a 412 float. I put
a good sized ball of ground bait at the start with some pinkies in it, quite a lot of pinkies, and I also put quite a bit loose maggot over the top of it. Then I went onto the reeds to my right and left it for an hour, and I fished off the reeds just a 4x10 float, no weight bottom, a 22 hook with pinkies, nice and light, and I caught some small roach. I probably had about a pound, about a dozen small roach and a perch and one skimmer from there. Then when I went out over my 13 metre line, I'd put my bait in slightly to my left because there's big open water there, so I didn't want to spread the fish. I just wanted to try and draw in what I could, so I fished one line and I caught skimmers straight away, and that was really my match going along that way with 4x12 float.
I had some good stamp skimmers.
I had a few good ones, but most of them were the 4 to 6 ounce ones. Fishing 2 inches over depth, just feeding little balls of ground bait through a card pot onto the float, just with I had a 0.1 bottom on, size 18 hook, and just fished between live and dead red maggot.
Super.
And that's really me day, and that's what it is. I just caught steady away.
Pretty
I hooked
simple.
5 carp during the match. It's probably, I don't say I would have caught Steve up with 30 pounds. It's quite a bit to keep up. I would have given him a good run for his money had I not hooked them, because every time I hooked one for a quarter of an hour, you just lost the fish for a bit. But then they come back with a bit more bait. So that was sort of my day. Just steady away, really. Nice day's fishing.
Awesome.
Excellent.
So on to Lake 2 next week. We might draw Mr. Fern's peg.
Well, that's,
With a bit of luck.
yes. That's where the fish seem to be.
Awesome. Well done for today,
Okay,
Bob.
thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll go